Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. To our elder, thank you very much. To our leaders. Now, Dr. Martin Brokenleg, you're unable to see the clan activity last night as our people gathered. And they met each other. And so we are still trying to pick a winner, and I'm going to need your help. And what we would like everyone to do is I want you to stand. And I want you to demonstrate your clan activity. And Dr. Martin Brokenleg, you will stand and watch and observe the people as they show their clan. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand. And let's see your clan activity. 1, 2, 3, go. I think you would agree it takes a circle of courage to do this. But you know, when you think about clans, and you think about the diversity of humans, our four-legged, our winged ones, there is no ranking. We're all one. And so there is a teaching here that we can take from the animal kingdom as we think back into our workplaces about really practicing the diversity and respecting the gifts that each clan can bring. You know, today in this audience, you have our leadership circle partners, and these partners, the employer network that we're growing across Canada and indeed internationally, are the change makers, because we're all going to end up in one place today, and that place is a workplace. And we have the second largest group outside of the leadership circle is the asset holders, and the asset holders are the Aboriginal skills and employment training folks that work at the community level, that work with many multi-barriered clients. They are the heart of community, and they are great connectors for our employers. We have educators, union, we have NGOs, we have grads, and we have our young Indigenous professionals. That's your audience here today. This is the community of practice. Give yourselves a round of applause, please. I want you to close your eyes. I want you to think about a campfire. A campfire. Last campfire you're at. And you can see the friendship and the feelings around a campfire as it pulls us together, and the flow and the warmth of the fire and the kinship. And the blessings of the stars and the moons and the people you get to meet around that campfire. Now open your eyes. Whoops, got to go back. Where's my... Now for those of you who don't recognize the fellow sitting beside me, that's Clarence Louie. And I'm going to tell you about a campfire opportunity that we're going to be bringing to you. I'm going to tell you this tomorrow at the end of the day. A campfire to grow our leadership inclusion spirit. You know, smoke signals have been used by Indigenous people for thousands of years. And today, our smoke signals are cyber signals. And I want to tell you about 3 things that are really exciting in terms of some signals that I want to send to you, our partners, and where we're going to help you climb the inclusion continuum, the employer's roadmap to becoming an employer of choice, a company of choice. The 3 smoke signals, the first one is we tried an experiment in January. It was a virtual recruitment fair. Never been done before. 2009, we were going to try it. I went down, remember Craig, we went down to the States. We met with some folks in San Francisco. We actually showed them a virtual fair, and there wasn't really a lot of uptake. And 2 years later, technology has changed, and everyone is Twittering away and Facebooking and social media. And we tried it. 33 employers came on board for that experiment. Over 600 Aboriginal job seekers signed up, and 218 actually participated for 2 days, visiting cyber rooms. We will be doing it again. But I want to read you 2 quotes from 2 people in our workforce. One was Sasha DeWolf out of New Brunswick. And she said, you know, that virtual recruitment fair was wonderful. I'm totally impressed. I've been searching for jobs online constantly that suit my qualifications as well as my interest with no luck so far. I found 3 possible connections in 1 hour on your site. Thank you so very much. She's from New Brunswick, so I flipped it to Chief Roger Augustine. And I said, Roger, here's a woman from New Brunswick. And he wrote me back and he said, that's my niece. Another fellow, John W., said, it's so nice to have a place for Aboriginal people to feel free to job shop at the National Recruitment Virtual Fair without the possibility of being rejected due to race. Now, ladies and gentlemen, would you agree that someone that writes feedback like that perhaps has experienced some race issues? And I think we know that as we build economic inclusion, we are dealing with social inclusion and overcoming the barriers, overcoming racism and discrimination. And I think that's the really wonderful part of the partnerships, George, that we talked about and that you brought forward in terms of people coming together. And the type of places that National Chief Sean Atleo wants us to go. And Mary Simon could not be with us today, the president of ITK, and she brings her warm greetings through me to you. So the second smoke thing I want to tell you about quickly is we unveiled last year the online strategy. And in this management learning forum, you're going to hear more about the inclusion classroom from Roberta Hewson and Craig Hall, and about the assessment tools. And the inclusion classroom is going to bring online training tools, templates, strategies that you can use for different parts of your workforce. And it's going to help your company climb the inclusion continuum. From frontline workers to supervisors and managers, right to the board of directors, training, tools, templates brought to you online. The third smoke signal I want to tell you about is the assessment tool. And you're going to hear about the IQ, how to improve our IQ, which is our Indigenous Inclusion Quotient. And companies that get it and actually start to build inclusion across HR, the forum realms, human resources, procurement, corporate social responsibility, and in the area of marketing and communications, accelerate up this continuum. And you're going to get your first sneak peek at some of the first beta testing that was done with the inclusion continuum. And this year we're going to be able to now move forward because our partners said we want to be able to benchmark and measure where our different work units are on the continuum. And more importantly, where do we put our investments? Where do we put them in terms of practices and strategies in order to accelerate our climb? It's going to be a great campfire over the next 2 days. You're with people, confidants, friends, colleagues. Nowhere in this language do you see the C word. This is not a conference. This is modeled after an MBA executive learning event where we go in a deep dive and we start to look at the challenges, the problems, the things that we talk about around the coffee cooler or around a drink, and we talk about the challenges and problems that we're facing in our workplaces. And when you do that, you're going to go away with ideas, you're going to go away with concepts that you can implement, and then we're going to continue to talk together through our Web 2.0 strategies. We're going to stay connected 24/7, 365 days a year until we meet again at Inclusion Works. You know, in Australia, I was saying that the great thing about looking at Australia is that we stop feeling sorry for ourselves. And you just need to look around like all our grandmothers would say. Don't feel sorry for yourself. There's always somebody who's worse off. And folks, this is Australia. And in some ways, it's sort of like the 1970s in Australia. And there's an Australian proverb I want to share with you. Those who stop dreaming are lost. And dream time is very important in Australian culture. Those who stop dreaming are lost. Children of poverty stop dreaming at age 5. You folks here are in the hope business. And we're so very proud. The council, its board of directors, its champions. We're so proud and honored to be working with people in this hope business. We're creating more than jobs. We're creating real prosperity in this country. We're going to expand this work to Indigenous inclusion globally. No one else is doing this in the globe. We have a moral responsibility to our brothers and sisters, and we're going to do it together. Make which, thank you. Enjoy this learning event.